Hello, people of the world and people of the holiday season. Whatever you celebrate, we all come together to celebrate Content Breaker here on our weekly podcast. I am joined by the Four Seasons, Zog the Summer Boy, Kelz the Wonders of Winter, Erskine the Springtime Meadow, and me just falling through life as things happen. How are you gentlemen today?
Surprised I'm summer.
Because you have such an intense heat. That's why.
Gucci man, tell him.
I'll accept that.
Yeah. There you go.
Yes. So yeah, today we are talking about how The Rise of the Guardians is one of the best holiday movies around.
Hell yeah.
Which I truly believe that it is. Rise of the Guardians is a DreamWorks production that I feel like is not in the golden age of DreamWorks, but is like a golden age DreamWorks thing.
This movie came out in 2012, and it kept getting pushed back because of all the movies coming out in 2012.
Yeah.
It didn't really stand a whole lot of a chance with the lineup that year.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. We got a lot of cats. We got a lot of cats. I'm distracted by the cat.
Distracted by...
Yeah,
Hi, strangest cat.
So for 60 seconds, let's talk about some animated movies that came out in 2012. Of course, Evangelion 3.0, because that's a competition. But no, we got stuff like Superman the Elite. We got Frankenweenie. Nice. Mass Effect the movie. Food Fight.
No.
This could
Oh my
be
god,
don't
I
talk
forgot
about
that
Food
was
Fight.
released in 2012.
Yo,
don't
we
even know
gotta
what
do an
that is.
episode on Food Fight. I'm just kidding.
I don't even think I know what Food
Hey.
Fight is.
Fuck you. It is an abomination is what it is.
But
How long
everyone
do I
has
have to-
done it.
Is that Sausage Party? No, that's
No.
Sausage Party.
Yeah.
It's not Food Fight. I'm looking up Food Fight right now.
Madagascar 3 came out that same year.
Trash.
Really? That's crazy.
Panda Warrior. Yeah, this was probably up of
Yo, this is a
three
real
to-
movie.
Okay. Yeah, it's a real movie. You don't want to watch it, trust
You
me.
really
This the
don't.
pickle bird.
Okay,
And the
damn it.
Oh, but this is also competing with the likes of Hotel Transylvania.
Yeah, Hotel Transylvania, Wreck-It Ralph, and that's just like the anime and Brave, the animated movies. But
Don't
what
forget
also
Ice
came
Age.
out- what also came out that year was The Amazing Spider-Man, The Avengers, Dark Knight Rises, a whole bunch of other shit that it was just
Naruto
like,
Road to Ninja.
where's a good place to release this? There was none.
There was not.
2013 is a good place to release this. Wow, I didn't know all these movies came out. But we all know that Road to Ninja and the Lorax was the best ones that came out that year. Trees are important. But yeah,
Save the weebdom for the other podcast.
save the weebdom. Lorax is an animated movie, not a weeb movie though. So that's okay.
The other one anyways.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no. This is honestly, it's like a holiday agnostic movie, which is really weird. It's not like a Christmas movie, hooray Christmas.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
all of the holidays.
It takes place on Easter.
It takes place throughout a year. We don't have a time scale for this movie.
Yeah, because there's
I would
definitely
assume it
Christmas
was,
happening at some point in this movie.
Really? No.
Yes. Because they
Easter is
deliver
the-
Christmas presents.
Easter is the big holiday that we go through, but they are running around collecting teeth for the Tooth Fairy, and as they do so, they incorporate stuff from their own holidays, leaving eggs for them to find. Santa just being like, "I turn your house into Christmas, haha."
Yeah,
As he
that's more or
runs
less. He's like,
around.
"Merry Christmas. Here's some presents," but it's like day after Easter, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
so thus making this a Christmas movie. And that is why this is totally a Christmas movie, because Christmas is somewhere in here.
No,
It
it's
is
a
the
Christmas
Die
movie,
Hard
but it's
theory.
Santa. But
Yes, Santa also works
Russian
better than my
Santa.
argument.
Russian,
out.
Russian Alec Baldwin Santa.
Lord have mercy.
Hey, I'm surprised it worked so well.
Honestly, it actually kind of did work.
And it also introduced us. It was the birthplace of the minions with the elves, for some reason. This was
What?
No.
This was yes. No,
No.
listen.
Death to that idea. No. They're nowhere. They're
I'm
nowhere
intrigued.
in this movie as
They're
much.
nowhere.
They
They're nowhere
don't
as.
hijack the, They don't hijack the movie, and they have nothing to do with the plot.
You're right.
And
It was used correctly as minion type characters should be used as.
but the minions were created with the release of the 2010 Despicable Me.
No, I know.
Okay, 2 years after the fact.
Oh, you're right. Okay, so never mind.
I'm right.
So that's even worse. They're minion clones. They tried to capitalize on the minion
Okay,
phrase.
yeah,
There you go.
that makes sense.
Purple
though.
minions are nightmare fuel.
I
Which-
did not know when Despicable Me came out.
Because you didn't, you have the wealth of human knowledge at your fingertips and you didn't utilize it. But I will agree. I think I enjoyed kind of the elves because they didn't have too much screen time. They were there solely for comic relief. And it was kind of fun when they were when Jack Frost and Santa were rocking through the workshop, and he was like, "Oh, I thought all the elves made the toys," and he's like, "We let them think
Do you
that."
see them?
Yeah, nice work. That was kind of fun.
It's like I don't know why
That
they're
was
here,
hilarious.
but
You
they're
do
here.
good job as they hit themselves in the head with a hammer.
Yeah, the elves were Lord Jesus. But no, this is a movie. Rise of the Guardians was by DreamWorks 2012, and it was based loosely off a children's book. That was the Guardians of Childhood, was the book that this was based off of. Which I slightly knew that because when I first watched Rise of the Guardians, when I first watched that, I vaguely remembered like the plot somehow, and then as I watched it, I was like, this seems so familiar. And then I watched it with my sister, who was like a book nerd, and she was like, yeah, it was like in 4th grade. It was Scholastic Book Fair, and there was like this book that was like a picture book. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. So, yeah.
And it's
The books-
wild. Go ahead.
The books are crazy. For example, some of these characters aren't spirits; they're aliens.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like not kidding.
Turns
Jack
out
Frost
Mother
isn't a
Goose is
spirit,
from Mars.
He's an alien. Yeah. Turns out
Yeah.
Mother Goose is actually the daughter of Pitch Black.
How does that
Fucking
work?
great. I don't know. Read the books.
You know what? Shadow powers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it starts with the Man in the Moon, which
Is God.
Yeah, which you do see him in this as well. As like, yeah.
Aslan.
Well, you seen Aslan. I used to think his name was
Aslan.
Aslan.
We have Lion God. Now we have Moon God.
Yes, I was there when it was written.
Don't say
Best
dark
line
magic
in
to
all
me,
of
witch.
cinema. I was there when it was written. Oh Lord.
Damn.
So anyway,
It reminds me of
Anyway.
my nephew was like, I'm going to destroy you at video games. I was like, haha.
your nephew said that.
Remember? I told you this story.
Oh yeah, I thought you meant
He's
like your nephew told you
I'm going to
that
destroy
he
you
was
at
there when
Smash
something was
Brothers.
written. I was
No,
like, your
no, that
nephew
was
is a
me.
Satanist or something. But
That was me.
don't be afraid to
Anyways.
kick your nephew
Oh,
with love or out your house next time he does something.
Next week, Satan Christmas movies.
Is that a thing?
yes, actually.
Can
it's
be.
Please
called
tell me that's a
Krampus.
thing. I need to find these.
It's called Krampus. Actually, it's like all
Krampus
horror.
was
That's
actually
not
pretty good. I liked
Satan.
Krampus.
That's not Satan.
Scary.
Nah,
Or the
it's-
Billy and Mandy Christmas special. That's a satanic Christmas movie.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's just vampiric.
Hail Satan. We've got Rise of the Guardians though, which previously, it is wild how deep and crazy the lore actually gets. Like, even here, it's like, okay, it's a fun kids movie, but the fucking moon decides who gets to be a savior of the children universe. Like,
Yeah.
I
One
mean,
thing I do love about that is that that's just how it is. They don't explain anything more than that.
You're like, the
I
moon
don't
has
need
chosen.
anything more than that. It's just, hey, the moon is the one who decides who gets to be a guardian, and these guardians are the people who protect the kids in their dreams. That's all you gotta know.
True. Like, but yeah. Anyway, so this is the premise is basically that, like you said, that the moon decides who is the guardians of the world. I want to say the children, but I guess it's like all encompassing. But they're really
It's-
like screw the adults.
It's
The
really
children
just
of the
kids.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got which I didn't know until this rewatch, and then looking at the wiki that these guardians actually had titles, which I think is very interesting.
Yeah.
We're gonna leave the last one off, but you got the Sandman, who's the guardians of the dreams, because Sandman goes into dreams and gives you
Puts them
pleasant
to
sleep.
sleep, let them stream.
Yeah, and Tuthina,
Anderson Man Snoozy.
Vanderston Van Snoozy. Yes.
I love their names from the books.
And then we got Tufanina. Tufanina? Is that how you pronounce it?
Tuthina.
Tuthina.
Tuthina, who is the guardian of memories, which is still. I know they tried to relate the teeth back to that, but I still was like, nah, man, this is too loose. This don't make sense.
So if you
Like-
don't have like a full set of teeth, do you just not have those childhood memories sealed away? Like if you lose,
I
one
guess
tooth-
that
No,
makes
if you
sense.
ever had baby teeth, then when she collects them, she collects the memories.
yes, but say
So-
like if your tooth gets knocked out and it falls down a drain or something, and it just well, there goes my childhood memories. I'll never have those again.
I'm sure she'll find it. You
Teeth.
just
Not
ain't getting the money.
Teeth, the world's grossest data storage.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to like mention the fact that like it's super weird because I feel like you don't really retain memories as a kid anyway. Like, so
Because they're all
gotta
in
get your
storage.
baby teeth. I mean, no, but like, anyway, moving on from the Tufina because she pisses me off.
Nah, man,
Like-
them memories as a child are in that storage locker that you pay
Yeah,
$50
I
a
just-
month for. You don't know why, but
What would be the
don't
point?
open that door.
Forget what I put in there,
No,
but
I
I,
wanna-
know
I
something
wanna go-
belongs in there.
I want to go
I ever
down this
wonder-
rabbit hole.
I ever wonder how long parents like keep baby teeth? Like,
Trying to
or do
hold
they
on
even
to the
keep
childhood
them?
memories. Yeah.
I mean, like,
Why
but
don't
like
you-
if they
why
in
don't-
there 20
I mean,
years
you know,
later,
You can
Freaking
always
weird.
ask your parents. And
Yeah,
find
your
out,
your
but-
parents probably has like a whole suitcase or briefcase.
we didn't keep baby teeth. Like,
There were so
I was
many
like-
children that would have been well too much storage space.
they were
Teeth
like,
alone.
oh. I was like, is the tooth fairy real? They're like, you want the real answer? And me being a kid, yeah. No. It's like, is Santa real? Yeah. It's us. We Santa. What you want for Christmas? Like, cool. That was literally it.
Cool.
Like,
Cool. What am I getting for Christmas? The truth.
a Game Boy SP. So, which I mean that worked out for me because then I just started asking for stuff, and then I got the soccer bockums and beat my cousin upside the head. Fun times. But anyway, yeah. So ask your parents like how long they kept y'all's baby's teeth because I'm curious. I will ask mine, and I know the answer I will get. And then we got, of course, Nicholas Saint North, which is Santa, who is my favorite guardian, the guardian of wonder. Because like he's Christmas, like it's the best holiday.
Yeah.
I air quoted it.
Thank you.
Like you cannot tell me, Zog. No matter what, I know you have some crazy hot takes, but there's no way you're gonna tell me there's a holiday more more popular than Christmas.
Boxing
More
Day.
popular?
Yes, or more widely loved than Christmas. Shut up! I heard this man said Box Day.
You know what I can probably think of that could compete is like Halloween, and I prefer that crowd anyway. So
I just hate Halloween. I don't know why. I
well,
just
fuck you
don't
too.
like. It's like I just always saw it as like I blame Hocus Pocus honestly, but like even in the rest of let's talk about it for a second. Even the rest of the world where there is no like semblance of Christianity, they still like celebrate Christmas. Like, and a lot of places in the world even have like it's like a worldwide holiday, even though it is only celebrated in the West or
Thanks,
only
Peggy.
like recognized in the West. You said what?
I said thanks, pagans, but no, certainly to your point.
Yeah.
Like, there are a bunch of winter celebrations.
Mhm.
You know, regardless of the specific culture from one place to another, that kind of idea like transcends So certainly, it doesn't have to be Christmas. It can be Hanukkah. It can be Kwanzaa. It can be pagan holiday number 47. It's a thing in humanity.
Yeah, it's basically just it's cold outside. Everybody get together and celebrate something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. When everybody's stuck inside because it's death, literal death outside, you have to celebrate to stay alive.
Especially the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I wish it was colder. But yeah, so in my opinion, the best Guardian, not necessarily the best holiday, but the best Guardian. Also the most popular one, as we can see in the movie as well. But the Guardian of Wonder, so I'll rock with that. Winter Wonderland. Then we have Estar Bunnymond, who is Australian, and my second favorite Guardian because of his personality.
It is Hugh Jackman.
Yes, that's why we love him. And he's the Guardian of Hope, which is another one that I didn't quite. I was like, eh.
He said,
like,
Easter was hope.
Well,
so that's supposed to correlate, I guess.
As soon as Easter got ruined, and in the movie, as soon as Easter got ruined, and all the kids started losing all belief in the Guardians and everything, that's when they really started getting weak, and the guy trying to kill them all got strong. So, Guardian of Hope loses powers, everyone fall in despair, kind of makes sense.
And they said he was the Guardian of Hope because it was like the new beginnings.
Yeah.
Like Easter, spring, moving out of the cold, dark death of winter, the hope of, I don't know, 6 months of not that shit. So
yeah.
Let's get back to life.
Let's live, Let's go and be great and all that. So, and then we have our other Guardian, who's not a Guardian yet, but we'll get to that when he does inevitably become a Guardian. So, we've got, the movie starts with Jack Frost, who is another monolith of, what would you call these? Not holidays, like spirits?
Spirits.
Fairy tale.
Folklore, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Another myth, another very popular myth. Jack Frost, he brings the cold and winter and all this stuff. Except he's Iceman in this movie. He is literally X-Men.
He is Jack Frost. He has power over the cold, the wind, and not
He
the
learns-
rain, but
He's
Snow.
basically that shit.
Yeah,
He's Jack Frost. He nips at your nose.
I guess he can fly at the end, strange, but not
No, he flies. He flies on the wind.
It's
The
the
North
wind,
Wind.
and they trust each other. It's a very consensual relationship.
yeah, it's like Moana in the ocean.
I am a fish person.
No, but
the
yeah,
ocean definitely pushed her to go on the journey.
and the North Wind definitely wanted Jack to be great. Same thing. So yeah, we've got Jack who is out here mischief and everything, throwing snowballs, and he can't be seen. His whole thing is, I'm invisible. Why am I?
Just want to talk to somebody.
Yes, the
quarantined.
last movie we watched, Klaus, should have been the song "Invisible" should have gone to Jack Frost as his lead song for this episode.
It fits just as well.
I'm so glad that there wasn't a musical number.
Yeah,
I needed that.
I saw Jack Frost at the very beginning be all sad boy. It's like, here we go. And then it didn't. And I'm like, wow.
Although, to be fair, opening scene, corpse floating in water, rising from a frozen lake. No,
I instantly knew what that was.
Strong image.
Well, I was like,
I'm not surprised
this
by the
is.
sad boy moment.
I was like, this is how we're starting the movie. Okay.
Who did it better? Daniel Craig, Jack Frost.
Jack Frost, because Daniel Craig didn't die.
But
Are we talking about James Bond?
Yeah, we're talking about James Bond. Adele was Skyfall.
Oh, Adele. That's all you had to say. Yeah.
But equally, that was the musical number. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
In the sky.
Not a musical. That's all.
I mean, I will take Adele Skyfall over this whole damn movie right here, right now. Like, you think I'm playing?
Yeah.
I know you're
But,
not. That's
Don't hate on Adele's
That's
dog.
my-
You can hate on everything else except Adele and Fruits Basket. Anything else you want to.
I like Adele, but
I'll take-
I still want this movie.
Yeah. Anyway, moving to this movie. So Jack can't be seen, and he's all like sad boy about it. But he's like, you know what? It's okay because I can do hood stuff with my friends. I don't have any friends, so he can do hood stuff by himself. So
I can make this child be endangered by having him sled through busy rush hour streets and then get hit in the dome with a couch.
The couch, yeah.
He
I was
had
like,
a helmet.
no, I literally was like, how is this kid even alive?
Cartoons.
If he got hit
Magic
in
bullshit.
the face with the couch, basically, like, I don't know about you. I was
Look,
not.
I
would
don't know
not.
what to tell you. He wore a helmet. That's obviously all you need to know.
Yes, because the helmet covers this part of your face.
It's because the helmet protects your neck.
yeah. So
Wu-Tang.
yeah, it's basically Jack is the main character. You know, he's got this fit on, and he is eternally young. He has all these other characteristics of the Guardians and the other myths, but he's not one. So he feels alone, and there's nothing he can really do about it. And as the story progresses, we learn more about that. Basically, something is going on in the world of the Guardians that's causing disarray. And so a meeting is called by the Man in the Moon. So the Santa or the Man in the Moon call the meeting?
Santa
is the leader of the Guardians, essentially.
Yeah.
The one who calls the meeting and is just like, "Hey, I know it's a problem. There are fewer lights, fewer kids believe in us. We got to fix this shit." And while all of them are arguing, the Man on the Moon just starts shining down like he wants to send a message because he is the one creating the Guardians.
Yeah. So they have this meeting about what to do and what's going on, and they realize, hey, like you said, things are happening. There's not as much light. There's not many people looking for eggs. Like tooths aren't being hid. Like what's going on? And that's when we see
We
Nightmare
need a
Fuel.
new-
Sorry, no, you're right.
No, you're right. So we introduced the villain, and that's
Yeah.
the point in which the Moon is like, we need a new Avenger.
Yeah,
Copyright strike. Da, da.
Don't you wish that on
Well,
us?
when this movie came out, it was compared to Avengers a lot, mostly because it was marketed like, "Hey, you saw your favorite superheroes assemble and get together. Well, now look at your favorite holiday
Now we have your
symbols get
favorite
together."
holiday
Your
symbols.
favorite holiday cryptids. They're from Mars.
Watch
Yeah.
them fight the Heat Miser. And this.
You're getting my hopes up, bro. But we got the introduction of the main villain, Pitch Black, Pitch Perfect, Pitch Black.
Pitch
The
Perfect.
way it's known
AKA
as
the Boogeyman. Yeah,
the
we're the Nightmare King.
different show. What's your take on Pitch Black? How do you feel about him as a villain?
I liked him. He was very ominous. He had all the good qualifications of a great villain. Personally, he was voiced by Jude Law, who did an exceptional job. I feel like, he struck fear. Like I couldn't watch this when the lights were off as a kid because as a kid I was like 17. But
Well, it was pretty pitch black when he was on the screen.
it was good job there. I'll let you have that one.
Goodness.
But yeah, so it was like super, like you said, super dark. He seemed like he was an evil Sandman almost, because I thought he was using sand at first. So I thought
I
like
think
the
it
Sandman was like,
Sand.
what's that?
He
I think
took
it was.
he took Sandman's dreams and turned them into nightmares.
Yeah,
It was
Hence the
same kind of
horses.
thumb. Hence the sandy horses.
Yeah, that's
So, like-
hold on, that was my only criticism. Real quick, I'm like, you are the man of nightmares right now. You could do so much better than just death horses. Like,
Well, that's what a death horse is called. It's called nightmares.
He's a pale rider.
you've played Soul Calibur. Strange.
listen. No,
He has
okay,
played
I
the
understand the nightmare. I understand. nightmare. But I'm like, your nightmares. I don't know. Put a dragon in it. I don't know, just something.
Dragons
Scary.
are actually common misconception by America ruining things. Dragons are also actual creatures of protection everywhere around the world. You didn't watch Shang-Chi either.
Let's say Europeans are part of the problem.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Western dragons
technically-
aren't so much, but
Technically, those are wyverns. Those aren't even dragons. So they
No.
just
Bro,
got it
they
wrong in
got-
general.
European dragons got
Or
4
like-
legs. Yeah.
That's a dragon.
That's
Oh,
dragon.
yeah.
wyvern is just 2 legs and wings.
But anyways,
Skyrim.
that's why
Hoats,
like I understand.
wyverns.
I understood the horse thing. Very funny, but also
Funny.
it's a nightmare.
You were just looking for more creativity
Yeah,
with it,
I
like
would-
what they
Yeah.
did with Sandman.
Well,
Which I get that, but
I thought it worked out
Yeah.
perfectly because he didn't have that imagination, childlike wonder. He was the opposite of Sandman. He was the antithesis to Sandman, who was creativity, joy, and light. He's darkness, mundaneness. He's not going to have that creativity or that whimsy that Sandman has. I looked on it in like an introspective level, but I also look at probably way too many things on an introspective level. So that's probably why I came up with them, and you probably are right. They probably were just lazy.
And, well,
I'm not
Both-
saying
both-
it's bad. I'm just saying I would have liked to see just a like when he put the giant scythe sickle around or whatever that was. Like that was cool. I was like, more of that, please. Oh no, we're just okay. Never mind. Oh, and there was like a spear arrow thing, but that was it. That was all he had.
but yes, I agree with both your points. One, yeah, totally. It's all about horses because that's the first thing he converted was a little girl's like dream of a unicorn and turned it into a fucking hell horse, and that's his shtick now. But certainly, it gets kind of boring with it only being hell horses and like a flood of darkness.
yeah. That being said,
Yeah.
ocean of hellhorse like above me. Yeah, no, fuck that shit.
But
Yeah.
but
I don't need to be creative at that point.
But equally, like, we don't spend a lot of time with him and his like darkness minions. It's a lot of him, the villain, and
Yeah.
like him, the personality, being the thing
Which
that is like scary.
maybe it's because it came out the same year as Avengers, but I always saw him as like kind of like Loki. He's running around doing all the tricks and everything, building up his own power until he can have his army to take everybody out with. But he's also got this comedic edge to him, especially when his plans aren't going quite his way, and he gets a little whiny about it.
I mean,
We just don't know anything about his backstory outside of he had a connection with a man on the moon. So there's nothing more to latch onto besides that.
I'm mad we never figure out what that connection was. Like,
Maybe
I
he was
wholeheartedly
like-
feel like there was supposed to be a Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
There was. They immediately had plans to make one, but because the movie bombed at the box office, those plans were immediately canceled.
Oh yeah, that is one thing that I forgot to say. That like this became a cult classic as soon as it got doomed. Hello, Dipper in the background. You're adorable.
Yes.
Like this did horrible in theaters, like you said, because it came out with so much stuff. But then like everybody I know who's seen this movie loves it. Loved it. Like I was actually worried. This is gonna transition to what I was saying next. I was actually worried that this was gonna like Spider-Verse was gonna be one of those things where it did horrible in theaters and everybody loved it afterwards. And it was kind of like it didn't do horrible. I feel like it did really well, but I feel like the love really came when it came to Netflix. When it came on DVD, I feel like that's when it really blew up. And I feel like this was unfortunately not the same case because I mean maybe we'll get Rise of the Guardians 2 now.
The person who owned the rights to the books originally is trying to get back the rights to the movies so he can just reboot the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like that just because that basically means this movie is just stuck where it is and we're never going to get anything more with it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna need him to let that go like Elsa so I can get part 2 of this work of art.
for part 2 to happen, DreamWorks is going to have to come back and say, okay, yeah, let's give it another shot.
We got 85 pandas and 68 dragon movies. They can give us a second one of this.
We literally had 3 of each of those.
And then there was like 8 miniseries. Okay, what do you want from me? Sagwa the cat should get a reboot. But anyway, so yeah, basically this is the story of the Guardians kind of recruiting Jack Frost as a, vigilante, like deputy guardian to help them fight Pitch Black and kind of save the holidays. And then you see more of each guardian. You realize they each have like a niche, and they're not just like pricks like they're kind of portrayed to be at the beginning. Not that they are portrayed to be pricks, but like to me,
so much time protecting the children. We don't have time for children.
What? Crazy.
Yeah. So you realize they all have like a good heart and everything, and they all have like their own lair and place. The Easter Bunny has just all of Australia.
Underground Australia, but yeah.
Yeah, Nicholas North, because I gotta remember he is never called Santa in this.
Nah, he's just called North.
Yeah, but so North is, the North Pole. Sandman is. We don't really know where. Yeah, we don't really know where he is.
He's
I
in
think
his lair is.
He's just up in the clouds.
Yeah, he's in your
living
head.
there rent free.
And Tooth Fairy is in a castle
South
of
America.
teeth.
South
Oh yeah,
America.
South America. Yeah, in a castle of teeth. Very disturbing. But yeah, so basically this is their story to save the kids, and along the way, Pitch Black does a lot of horrible things, and even takes a fascination in Jack Frost. He's more so like, yeah, you're like me. Look what our powers create when they merge. Like,
We know what it's like to be ignored.
yeah,
We must stick together.
I have
Come
a
to the dark
vendetta
side,
against the Man in the Moon. I'm like, what did he do? Like, what did he do for this man? I feel like it's his son, maybe.
Mhm.
Like,
Technically, they're all his kids, I guess.
are they?
He's the one who makes them.
Does he?
We legit see him making Jack Frost. When we find out Jack's backstory and everything, being
Yeah, that's
he's just a kid living in like the 1700s. He's out playing with his little sister, and they're on thin ice, literally. And he has the idea of, okay, she's scared. Let's not worry about this. Let's just have some fun. And he dances along the ice to get his staff and uses it to quickly skate her across to safer position on the lake, while the ice cracks and he falls in the water. Right after that, we see the moon shine blue, rays of light go down on him, and that's supposed to be like right after that flash is supposed to be the transition from him being a normal person to turning into Jack Frost, and then the beginning of the movie is what would come right after that.
Man, what
Yeah.
a traumatic childhood event for that sister, though. We'll
She'll
never
be
know how
alright.
she turned out.
She got her
She
shine
ne-
gun.
She
Save the
never
village.
went ice skating again.
Yeah.
What?
Sorry.
She got that shine gun, was just like never going near
She'll
the ice.
she'll go on
Got
to
her
become the
shine gun.
Hokage.
Saved the
Alert.
village. Killed the rest of her clan. Got her other sibling, her third sibling, to kill her, and then
Yeah, that's kind
Fucked up
of
everything
so.
else.
Like, yeah, I guess I'm kind of glad that homie was like, I have a family, but that was the 1700s, so they're all dead. I'm glad that wasn't like a big depressing moment,
yeah.
because it
Like-
should have been.
He remembered
Yeah.
the next 300 years and was just like, oh, right. Even if I had one, they'd be dead already anyway. So,
True. Yeah. No one can live forever except.
but
The
now
rest
I
of his
can
party.
live for the current children.
Yeah. We are the world. So yeah, and I feel like to answer the question of why Pitch Black is like this, I feel like you compare this to Avengers, I'm gonna compare it to another Disney movie. Hercules. Like I feel like maybe Pitch Black has like a Hades syndrome. Like, yes, someone needs to, work over the darkness. Like, someone has to control that, but no one wants to. So, the fact that the Man in the Moon made Pitch Black the Guardian of Nightmares probably pissed him off because it's a thankless job and no one wants to do it. And there's a lot of corruption and you don't get any credit for anything because they're freaking nightmares. Everybody hates nightmares. Everybody hates death. So I'm assuming maybe that's it. I don't know. That's
Maybe they
what
explain it
What
in the
little we
books.
find out about him says that everybody knew of him. Everybody basically believed and worshipped Pitch Black, just so he never bothered them. But one day, because the Guardians came around, gave him hope, dreams, and all this good stuff, they stopped giving a shit about him, and he became isolated, lonely, and basically how we see Jack at the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Cold world. Um, but yeah, like the mythos of these characters are very interesting. I feel like because we all know the story of Jack Frost brings in the code. Um, male Elsa as that trend was back
Oh, God.
when they came out.
No.
Sandman grants dreams. Tooth Fairy comes against this, but we don't really know any mythos about the boogeyman except he's gonna come
He lives
mess you up
under
if you're
your
bad.
bed.
Stop that! I have to go to sleep tonight. I will throw a firecracker under here. But yeah, there's never really anything good to hear about the boogeyman, so I thought that was interesting. But one thing that I feel like we gotta talk about and give someone their flowers, Peter Ramsey, who worked on this film, who also worked on Into the Spider-Verse.
He was the director for both, apparently.
Yes, and he actually talked about this in his he did kind of like a documentary, like 30 for 30 thing for Into the Spider-Verse, where he talked about this movie a lot and how he thought it was going to be so good, and this was the first time he felt like true failure, or a few anguish that you feel when you're going for something great. There's going to be that, there's gonna be that.
It is great. It
Yeah,
is
and
great. It just came out with some bad timing.
Yeah, which is
That's all
something
it
that you
takes.
can't really. These things are planned years and not months in advance for the release date. And there's nothing you can really do about that unless you're freaking Taylor Swift and you just go and release your old music when Anderson .Paak and Silk Sonic is dropping. Stupid. Anyway,
And then Adele knocks everything off to out of the water. So
she wasn't dropping when Adele was dropping. I'll say that though. Or when Ed Sheeran was dropping, she was scared. Or J. Cole. But anyway, so enough about my secret crush, Taylor Swift. Yeah, so Peter Ramsey has been making crazy awesome stuff. He made Into the Spider-Verse, which is probably my favorite animated movie of all time, if I have to say.
That's mine.
Yeah, it's sorry Disney, you're close number 2 with Lion King.
I'm not sorry. Do better.
Okay. But just the texture, designs, and he's his first start was as a graphic artist. All of us have that degree. I think most of us do. I don't know what y'all do with y'all lives anymore. But I think at least I have the degree in Kelz because we graduated at the same time. So I know we do. I don't know what.
I don't do a damn thing with it.
Who you telling?
I used to live in a laundromat, so obviously you can tell I don't have one. So
if I don't,
I've never
reach
read
my
a book in my life. Also,
I believe that with you, full disrespect.
Guardians of the Galaxy, the rising of a shield hero, the rise of the Guardians.
Rise of the Guardians.
Rise of the Guardians.
It was a fun time. Does anybody have any favorite characters or favorite moments from this movie? I know it. Also, it ends with Jack.
When Jack was trying to keep the last light shining, when he went to that final kid who was desperately trying to believe and was just like, let me give you a little let me play around with you, let me have some fun here. and just show the kid a good time, and started believing in everyone, all of them, so hard he finally sees Jack. That was the one that I really liked. And I know I went through a couple of versions of saying that were weird. Screw you. I see you laughing at it.
Oh, I
It's
laugh.
fair, but
No,
No,
like
I'm
totally. That moment in which Jack finally gets recognized. He's like, I will make you, son of a bitch, I will make you believe in the Easter Bunny if I don't do anything else. And he's like, Snow. Jack?
Jack freaking Frost.
And then it's like you
Is
see
that
him. That was
you?
my favorite. My favorite moment was like, I think it's same as yours, dog, but it's kind of like Jack's whole character rise, like, you know, of him being seen, and the guy's like, Jack, or the little kid's like, Jack Frost, and he's like, yes, I did it, I freaking did it, like in that moment. And then when he becomes a guardian, and he becomes a guardian of fun, like his whole thing, he wasn't just destruction, he wasn't just like melancholy or coldness or something for people. It's like he was fun, you know, the sweating and that vindication he had of like saving his sister and like him being a good person and like wanted her to have fun. It really tugged on my heartstrings. And
as North put it earlier, he found his center.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like I really enjoyed Jack Frost's whole character development and arc. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I mean
Like-
that was a hype moment, but probably one of my favorite moments is just any scene when the Sandman goes off and like pitches butt. Man, that was I'm like, yo, how
When
you make Sandman cool? This is how you do it.
You make
People
was
take
sa-
notes.
You make him a sandbender, and just
What? No, that was Gara, bro. That was full Gara.
He really-
There, like
I'm surprised I didn't see the whole like Sand Pyramid Castle Crush or whatever.
it
that
was
movie.
Shikaku waking up, bro. It was that
You about-
playing possum jutsu.
You about to see an edit coming quick.
Like Sandman-
Sand burial coming.
Sand Pyramid.
Sandman reminds me of Snorlax, you know. When he wakes up, run. Because like
when he wakes up, he grumpy.
yes, he is the OG, the best, and the GOAT. But no, that is a dope moment with him doing pretty much anything. You're right. Sandman is pretty dope in that aspect. I would say my favorite moment. Wait, no, I already did that. I was going to go to character, but Kelz, what's your favorite moment?
So favorite moment overall, you know, it's a lot of fun. It's also a little, you know, in my opinion, kind of generic just due to like the concepts we're drawing from, but it's relatively unique in the delivery, right?
Yeah.
So part of this, some of the stuff I really enjoyed throughout the whole thing was the comic relief of the Santa's shop, right? So the elves being dumb as fuck. Also,
make him red.
yeah, yes, literally
Yeah,
that.
make 'em
So
red.
they're walking through the workshop, and this fucking Yeti is like, okay, I just finishing touches on the last blue robot, and Santa's like, I don't like him, make him red. He's like, "Whoa!" I'm like, I feel that intrinsically.
That is in my soul.
And then what happens? Oh yeah, like the egg
He
thing.
finishes- Oh, go ahead.
No, I was saying like the same Yeti paints eggs red, but then the Easter Bunny is like make them blue. It's too Christmassy. And he's like, ah.
I don't recall that, but I might not have
Really?
been paying attention.
No,
It was
that
during a
I-
montage.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was very quick. It was still nice.
Because I
It was a
remember
funny
he
callback.
finished the red robots, and then fucking Pitch Black was like, the shop's shut down, and he's
Yeah.
like,
Ah!
why do I even put effort into the life, you know?
I felt his frustration on a spiritual level. Like,
But no, totally. You know, the sincere parts were really sincere. The comic relief stuff was, you know, on the money in terms of timing.
Mhm.
Not too much. It was in there, you know, it was in a sparse. You had, you know, you were paying attention, you picked it up. Overall, it was a fun, unique time.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, favorite character wise, I think I gotta go with either Jack or North for sure. Those were definitely two standout characters to me. And personally, I think that I would have to give it to Jack. You know, I normally don't pick the main characters of like movies. They're normally never really my favorites. Normally the like the tourist or a different character. But this one I gotta go with Jack. I think they had a great good main character. And North close second. Sandman third. Pitch Black last. Bottom trash character.
Jack's a fun character. I did quite enjoy his whole character. I don't know. That's all I really have to say.
So
fun.
is that your favorite character?
I mean, it's either him or Sandman, just because of what Sandman does. I like Sandman.
Sandy is cool, even though he's a mute.
Hey, mutes are cool.
Yes.
I don't.
He
That
basically
said
talks in
really
emojis.
weird. You said
You
that,
only
like-
took it weird.
But no, totally.
You're
Like
weird.
if I had to pick a favorite
face is
character, it would have to be Sandman because the ability to communicate emotions and information non-verbally is so interesting as a concept,
It's incredibly difficult too.
I love
Yes.
that ish.
As we
I
saw
love
with
when they do that.
he's trying to tell people like, look, the moon is talking to you. Please pay attention to me.
And they made you give a fuck about this man who didn't have a single lick of dialogue when he died.
That tore me up. I was like,
Oh,
no, my boy. He's
And
crying.
when he came back, when the children were like, "We'll defend the guardians of the children," it's like, ah, shit. And then like he comes back from the dead. The nightmares are turned back into regular ass dream sand or whatever, however this works. And he's like, "I'm back." That was, it didn't feel out of place. It felt earned and deserved, and I was excited for it.
Because you saw what he did earlier, so he's gonna mess pitch up. And I was
He
like,
put
yes,
the work to him.
yes,
Yeah.
The Sandman is the Superman of the Guardians. He is the heavy hitter.
No, I absolutely adore Sandman as well. He's like up there. Like I said, top 3. So, what about you, Zog? Who's your favorite?
Honestly, I don't really have like one singular favorite, but my favorite like thing for the Guardians themselves is the interactions between North and Bunny. Just seeing that they have this kind of like rivalry between them, and they're constantly arguing back and forth on which one's better, Christmas or Easter. It's fun.
Mhm.
No, you're right. You're right.
Easter is important this year. Did you guys hear him say that? Did you guys hear him say? That was funny.
Nah, my holiday, my form of travel. Stomp, stomp, tunnel.
Buckle
Yeah,
up.
that was like so cool. Everybody's
Where are
way
the
of like
buckles? Where's
transportation.
the belts?
That was cool.
There's no belts. Hang on.
Yeah.
Also, a very quotable movie.
Yes,
It is
very
super
much so.
quotable. Super quotable. Yeah, so I would say that this is definitely up there with my Christmas movies, even though it's not like a Christmas movie, but it feels like a Christmas movie. I think that's because I end up feeling good at the end. So maybe that's why I feel it as a Christmas movie.
I'm
It's
just
like-
like living where we live. I was just like, what state do you live in to where Easter time still has snow on the ground? Where do you live?
Canada.
Not
Where's
below
this?
the Mason-Dixon.
Yeah,
Area.
Michigan. Kind of.
This is-
No.
I'm like, they must be in Maine or Canada or something. There's no way.
No.
I mean, probably. They're probably in like Denmark or something because, there's more.
Well, they
places in
traveled the
North America.
world.
Denmark? Where is Denmark? Because I may not comprehend this.
Denmark's over in Europe. It's in
They
the UK.
were not in Denmark.
They were
this
not
time.
Denmark.
Do we know that?
Yes.
Yes,
You
the
saw the
last light was
Yeah.
somewhere on the northeast United States.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Not Denmark. Definitely Denmark around the world, but clearly the only kid that believes is some schmuck in, I don't know, Idaho. You know?
Probably Maine, yeah.
Yeah.
Some douche. Sorry, not douche. He's a
Wow.
wonderful
Some kid
gift.
that saves the lives of the, imaginary
Yeah.
guardians. Yeah.
Literally
Yeah.
stopped Santa from turning
Asshole.
into dust. I was afraid Santa was going to turn into an old man at any point because he's walking like I was like, no, it's Santa.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
all of them aged except the rabbit.
Yeah, he reversed.
I mean, Tooth Fairy was like weird, just a weird character.
Can I say though, because looking at the wiki, literally a picture from the book, we totally got hoed with the Tooth Fairy. She was like an awesome warrior, giant wings, got like swords and everything. Like, where's that? Where was
She
that?
had children,
punched.
bro. She had to put down the sword to be a mother.
Oh my goodness! No, she did a punch at the end of the movie. That was all she did. Other than that,
Again,
Bro.
you could have took the Tooth Fairy out. Besides the memories thing, I think you could have took the Tooth Fairy out. Nothing would have lost. We would have lost.
you're
that.
100% right about that one.
I want to take 60 seconds and appreciate that moment too. When she was like, here's a gift. And he's like, a quarter? What am I going to do with this? And she decks his ass.
Knocking attitude. Oh,
I didn't
I like
expect
that.
it, but I loved it. Yeah.
That
I
was
like
so
that.
great.
No,
We
that
need her
was
in the
that
whole
was
movie
great.
just for that.
She was a dope character. But yeah, again, I love the moment where I think my favorite moment. I know I said that, but I realized my favorite moment is Jack's image being shown in the Hall of the Guardians, like with his hood on.
Mhm.
Like, I respect that. But yeah, any final thoughts about Rise of the Guardians, my fellows, before we dip on out?
It was a good time. I would probably show it to my children if I could find the DVD, but
The DVD, we have the internet.
By the time he has children, he'll probably have a 10th anniversary release.
maybe.
For
I
his
mean,
sake.
this
I
came
hope
out,
he waits
yeah.
that long. Oh shit.
He's
20th
got one in the oven.
anniversary.
Sounds like that clock's ticking.
Whoops.
This is it's a simple, easy movie, but the presentation has a lot of heart to it. And I love to just rewatch this movie. It's a lot of fun. It's easy to get into, and it's something you can actually sit down and enjoy or just have on in the background as you're doing something else.
Fair. It's fair. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's a classic. Maybe not a holiday classic, but definitely a classic. It's something that I will hold up there with the not quite the Spider-Verses and the Moanas, but definitely the like Wreck-It Ralphs and the Kung Fu Pandas. I would say put in that like area.
That's
Maybe like
they're about the same.
yeah, like I got tears. I know this isn't a jab at you, Zog, because I know your Kung Fu
I
Panda is
didn't
like
even
your
say-
number one.
I didn't even say anything. I was just like, I'm trying to comprehend where that falls, but
No, that's what I'm
okay.
trying to say. I was so tier 1, Moana, Into the Spider-Verse, Lion King. Moana, best Disney movie, best Pixar movie in my opinion. So that's number
It's not
1.
Pixar.
Yes, it is.
No. It's technically Disney, but anyways.
Moana is not a Pixar. You're right. Well, Moana is not a Pixar movie. It just had Pixar helped with it. It was weird. Anyway, I'll talk about that later. So like Moana, Lion King, Spider-Verse. Then tier 2 is probably Anastasia and some other stuff. And then tier 3 is like Kung Fu Panda, Rise of the Guardians, Wreck-It Ralph. That's where I put this. And then there's tier 4 and 5. And then there's Iron Giant, which just I'm pretty sure that movie's trash, but nostalgic makes me love it. So this
It's not
own
actually,
spot.
not actually bad. It's not bad.
Thanks, Vin Diesel.
Yeah. Groot. I mean, whatever he said.
I am Groot. That's what he
I
said.
am
Superman.
Superman.
I am
But yeah,
Superman.
So that's how I feel about it. Any final thoughts from you, Kelz? Strange?
I was, letting you take the lead.
No, well, I already said my bit. I mean,
Great. It was a good time. I was surprised that it was more unique than it had any basics of being on paper for the premise. But clearly, looking at the volume of lore there is for the source material, I can see why I'm surprised, because it is in depth. And yeah, let's be weird children's authors, man.
sure.
We should do it 100%. Like, I got the stories and I got the mind, and we just gotta teach Strange how to read, and then we will be
Yep.
100%.
I'll never know how to read.
He's our test demo, man. If it works on him, we'll sell 4.
If I see pretty colors, you know me.
That's why you don't watch manga or read manga, because it don't have pretty colors.
Dumb ape
That
like
sounds like a
dumb ape
plan.
like
Let's get
pretty
started.
colors.
Your cat is attacking your table. It's
It's
adorable.
fine. He's fine.
But yeah, so I think that's all. Play us out, Kelz.
Right. You can catch the show on all your podcatchers. We're talking Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Podcast, at Content Breaker, or Instagram, Twitter at Content Breaker as well. Gentlemen, y'all have stuff too.
Yes, you can find me at Static Dreads on the Twitter. I'm there.
The Twitter.
On
The
He's indeed
whole
there.
Twitter.
Yes.
Strange.
You find me Strangely Entertaining. That's on Twitter. That's at Strangely Entertaining, by the way. Strangely Int. You can find me on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Strangely Entertaining. And you can find me on YouTube. And I stream at 7 p.m. Central Time, usually on Tuesdays.
Nice. Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Mhm.
Also, check the other product when I get off my lazy ass to do actual research instead of doing schoolwork. Fuck that. At Your Typical Shonen Protagonist on all the podcatchers, or Twitter at your TSP. Zog, we have a schedule that we follow diligently, and I'm relying on you to tell me what I'm watching next week.
Well, next week we're getting our weave on. We're watching Sailor Moon S, the movie.
Oh yeah!
The one thing I'm excited for.
Merry Christmas.
Happy other holidays. That's just too.